I'm very excited to have my next guest join us. He's dropping a brand new album August 23rd. It's called When a Thought Grows Wings. The one and only Luna Lee. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Things are very cool. We were just chatting before this about how you're in LA right now and roasting and boiling like a lobster at a fancy restaurant, and things are great up here in the Bay.
Exactly.
You're actually a new resident to LA as we're talking about the heat and all that stuff to some extent, right? You're from Canada. So how
I'm
is living in LA? What's
young.
it like being a quote unquote Cali girl?
It's been great. I moved here just under a year ago, so it's definitely started to feel a little bit more like home over the last few months, and it's just nice to have a little change of scene. Obviously, I love the weather here. No winter, which is kind
Yeah.
of nice, but I still get a little taste of it when I go back. And I do go back to Toronto every couple of months to see my family, so a
Mm.
little bit of back and forth.
It's interesting how the people that grow up on the East Coast or even to an extent Canada on the East Side have this idealistic view of the West Coast, specifically California and LA. Has it lived up to the billing? What were your preconceived notions?
It is definitely very romanticized to me, and it still is, even though I live here now. I mean, I think it has lived up to my expectations, and I did come back and forth a lot before I officially decided to move here, but I definitely, go out and look at the mountains, and I'm still every day like, wow, it's so beautiful here.
Obviously, this has been quite informative with regards to the music, this transition in life. From what I understand, a long-term relationship had ended, and you were really searching for something that really inspired you. Were some of these songs conceived during the later stages of the relationship when the breakup was occurring and then post?
I think everything was written post
Oh.
because, yeah, I started writing the record in the summer of 2022.
You mentioned how you were grappling with the boundaries of what the boundaries you wanted to set for yourself in terms of a relationship with I Would Let You. Um, how did you go through that process? What did you learn? How did you learn to get to that point? Because sometimes when you're in love, you want to do everything for that person. You want to find that what is it, the unconditional love that everybody speaks of.
I think it was a mixture of, being in this very long-term relationship. It was almost 8 years. You learn a lot about how to coexist with a person and, that like initial sort of honeymoon stage ends kind of after the first little bit and then you settle into it. And so I think I had a lot of feelings that I think weren't clouded by that sort of honeymoon love. Um, but then coming out of that relationship, it offered me a whole new perspective on, yeah, what my priorities are and being able to sort of take a step away, take a moment and look back on it and write down some thoughts and feelings. And that song actually was, I think I was just having a moment where I was feeling a lot and I was like, I need to get this out. And so I just was writing all my feelings down into a note in my notes app. And then when I was writing the song, I was revisiting some of my old notes and discovered that and turned it into some lyrics.
Very heartfelt. I wish I was able to transcribe them all and and understand exactly every word you were saying. But it's also very therapeutic and a teachable moment in that song in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about myself. I always learn a lot about myself through songwriting and sometimes I sit down to write something and something comes out and I'm like I didn't even realize I was feeling that way, but something about this creative process has unlocked that in me.
One of my other favorites is Minnie Says, Would You Be My? I had
Oh
that on repeat literally 4 times before continuing on
my
to listen to
gosh,
the rest of
that's
the
awesome.
album. I mentioned up top that your dreamy vocals, the sonics and all of it. So tell me the origins of that song. What were you trying to convey here?
So that one, the title Minnie is a reference to Minnie Riperton because we were talking about her and she inspired a lot of the record as well. And that instrumental again, I wrote with Andrew. It was kind of the end of a day. We were just finishing a session and we were like, why don't we just try and write like a fun little loop and just see where it and build it and see where it goes. Um, and then Minnie was born, and the song, I think, sort of reads like a love song. But to me, it's actually a love song about a song, a love song about music. And it's kind of about that feeling when you find that one song that you're just obsessed with and you want to be listening to it 24/7. Like every time you go to listen to music, it's like, I have to listen to that one every single day.
That's
Um,
exactly what I did with the
so
song. I told you I listened to it like four
that's
times in
awesome.
a row.
It comes right back around. So yeah, it's a love song for a song.
It's my love song for Minnie Says.
Amazing.
And thank you for clarifying that Minnie Riperton is the reference point because I get that 70s vibe.
Mhm.
Was that kind of the focal, not a focal point, was that kind of the crux of the lot of the sonics on the music here?
Yeah, I mean, we were referencing Minnie a lot. We were referencing Dorothy Ashby, obviously amazing harpist, and my inspo for all the harp on the record. So we definitely like were referencing some stuff from the 70s. But then we were also referencing the Cardigans, and we were referencing Melody's Echo Chamber and, other more modern stuff, Wise Blood. So it's kind of a mix of a bunch of different eras coming together.
Interesting, interesting. So, what is it like putting a project together, writing music, and going through those phases, and talking about that long-term relationship and trying to heal, but also touching on those gotcha moments and trying to tell yourself, don't fall for that again.
It's funny. I think like it's just fun to sort of write like a whole record about romantic love. Obviously, we have many says that's about a song. So, other types of love too, but mainly romantic love. And I thought it was kind of cool that we sort of have these like two sides of it where it's like the breakup and the long term and, stuff that feels very heavy, but then also um looking at love from a much more light perspective, when something feels new and easy and fresh. And yeah, it was fun to write because Duality, my last record, none of the songs are love songs. They're all about friends, they're all about identity. I don't think any single one of them is about romantic love. So on the flip side, this new record is the very opposite.
It's very revealing. We're definitely getting a peek into how you view love and relationships. Do you consider yourself a romantic?
Definitely.
I kind of got
Definitely.
that vibe, but I wanted to ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
How difficult was it, or was it difficult at all to not go the other way and be angry?
I don't think I ever really felt angry. I think, when my long-term relationship came to an end, it very much felt like time. We had been together since high school, and um, we sort of had our time together. It felt like the right time to sort of move forward. So, I don't think anger was ever really part of the process or part of those feelings for me.
Even just being angry at yourself could be
Right,
right,
right.
could be an emotion too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I felt a lot of doubt and of course, heavy sadness and um yeah, a little bit anxiety about like, is this the right decision? Is this the right thing to be doing? So there was
Yeah.
definitely an element of that.
Yeah. Well, congrats on this album. I know everybody is just going to eat this up. I'm telling you. Minnie Says, Confusion Song, Bon Voyage. I mean, the whole thing. There's just so many to choose from. And best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.